Good morning. I'd like to call this meeting to order. This is the Putnam County Board of Commissioners, a special call meeting to discuss budgeting. This is one of two. Another is scheduled for 10:30. And I will call this meeting to order at 10:02 a.m. And to move forward, we'll start with a pledge of allegiance. If everybody would stand. And Tom McElhaney, it's your turn to do the pledge. For the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This first meeting is a special call meeting and is for the approval of the FY26 budget and authorization for the chairman to sign the 2026 budget resolution. I'm not sure who is going to discuss this, but is it Jennifer or Paul?
No, it's me. So we do, at this point in time, we do have the resolution prepared. We've made the changes that folks had asked for. We've added staffing to the Jimmy Davis Park line item. We've also made a few changes to reflect an increase to the hospital.
And what was that 56,000 for?
The 56,000 is, we had budgeted some capital and seizure funds, and we couldn't do that.
Oh, that's right. So on the E911 side of the house, as you've heard, revenues from the fees you receive are not sufficient to cover the cost of operation of the center. We used to get 25 cents per phone call, then it went to cell phones, and it's $1. We don't collect enough, so we pay for some of that out of general fund now, and that's that $56,000 allocation. That was the second change. If we tried to see if the sheriff would be willing to use some of his seizure funds, but his statement was those funds are exclusively his, and he uses them for other necessities inside his department. So with those changes and the $600,000 being specified coming from the fund balance number is now, $1.853 million coming out. So now's the time to make, if you have any questions regarding on the changes we made to satisfy the commissioners, I'll be happy to answer them.
Questions? Commissioner Hersey.
Well, I am prepared to vote to approve the budget, but I do have some concerns about it. One of the things that I think is a little bit disingenuous is, we're calling for 1.8 million from the fund balance, but the budget does not include the capital fund allocation. And there's about $593,000 of capital funds that are going into this year's budget. And I think for the sake of the public and everyone else, for that matter, that need to recognize that the budget is not 29 million, but the addition of the capital fund and an allocation of SPLOST number 9 monies of $700,000 or so is also included in our spending. To me, all of this is sort of fungible money. If we can spend a capital fund for capital projects or whatever in our budget, if we can allocate SPLOST 9 monies in the budget, buying an ambulance or whatever we're doing with it, I think it's important that the public recognize that our expenses are more than the 29 million shown in the budget, and that will be advertised in the newspaper. So, you know, we're spending well over $30 million this year for various things, including the budgeted items. Somewhere, it just seems to me that we have got to decrease our expenses somewhere. I mean, it's just kind of getting out of hand. That's far exceeding any inflationary increases, and I don't know where exactly in the future we're going to be able to cut these expenses, but somehow we really have to. As Jennifer has indicated, the capital fund, which I believe now has something on the order of $300,000 in fund balance for the capital fund, but we're proposing to spend $593,000, and I don't know how that quite works. Anyway, I think it's just a little bit disingenuous to tell the public that our budget is $29 million when really we're spending well over $30 million on various items. And I think we ought to be a little bit more honest with the public about our expenditures and the fact, to me at least, we need somehow to reduce this spending. It's just getting, as I say, a little bit, to me at least, a little bit out of hand. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Before we have other discussion and questions, I'd like to get a motion on the floor in a second, and then we'll have discussion. Is there a motion? The motion would be to approval of FY26 budget and authorization for chairman to sign the 2026 budget resolution.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Now it's time for other discussion. Anyone else have a question or discussion? Commissioner?
Somewhat similar to Commissioner Hersey's remarks. This is the first time I've been through a budget as a commissioner, so I've been really wanting to learn as I go and not make too many assumptions. But I do agree that we seem to be in this tension between not wanting to raise taxes, which is understandable, desirable, but also not wanting to rein in spending either, and often increase spending, and we're resorting to these fund movements and accounting practices to make everything add up. And I appreciate the efforts and the creativity that Paul and his team have brought to this, but I'm not sure it's sustainable in the long run. Maybe the answer is to reduce expenses. Maybe the answer is to raise taxes. I think we as a body, thinking about next year's cycle, need to engage the public in a more open, honest conversation about the trade-offs, essentially. We can't just keep moving things around and somehow having our cake and eating it. We can't just keep increasing expenses and not raise taxes. So we have to make some choices. We either have to, like the school board and to some extent the city, they've both raised taxes because they want to spend money and they think that's in the public interest. We've managed to not raise taxes, but increase spending. Yes, population growth, business growth, are helping us make this work, and that is probably going to continue, but we don't seem to be quite in alignment. So what I would like next year is find some mechanism to engage the public in thinking through these trade-offs honestly, and yes, maybe it's cut expenses, but also maybe it's raise taxes. We just need to we need to have some honest conversation and make some choices. Thank you.
Other discussion? Hearing none, we call for the question and request an electronic vote. Voting is complete. Districts 1, 2, 3, and 4 vote aye. The approval exists for the FY '26 budget and administration or authorization for the chairman to sign the 2026 budget resolution. Having said that, there's nothing else on the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, just one question. Jennifer, have you published the budget in the newspaper or submitted it to the newspaper yet? Or?
Pull your mic down, you can't hear you.
It,
Have it on. Yes, sir. The
Okay,
advertisement
sorry.
was in the paper.
yeah, okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We have one motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, sign in electronically. Voting is complete. Districts 1, 2, 3, and 4 vote aye. This will conclude the business of the first call meeting, and I declare this meeting adjourned. And we'll wait until 10:30 to start the next meeting, which is about 15 minutes. That'll give everybody a time to go and visit the bathroom. Thank you.